What's going on, guys? So I am running. I'm low on time. I've been trying to get this video out so hard, so much, but stuff has been happening. But anyways, let me get right into the video. So as you can see by the title, we're talking about Freedom Wars' birthday. So if you did not know, Freedom Wars in the US came out on October 28th in the US, like I said, and then October 29th digitally in Europe, and then 31st retail in Europe. So basically, this, you could call this its birth week, because it's sort of from Wednesday until Saturday that it was released in the, I guess, English speaking states. I don't know how else to say it, you know what I mean? So from yesterday till Saturday, this is like the time that the Freedom War was just coming out to everybody, basically localized. And so, you know, I had to have some type of tribute video, because my channel really has a lot of Freedom Wars. Like, to this day, we've been still going on with Freedom Wars content. Zero Freedom is still going strong. Just put out another episode yesterday. You should definitely check that out if you didn't see it yet. But yeah, I'm still going strong with Freedom Wars, so you know, I have to do some type of tribute. And so for this kind of tribute video, I'm just gonna be talking about the sequel, some sequel stuff, and some little signs, I guess you could say, that we could have a sequel. I know I've talked about it a little bit in other videos, but that's been months ago, so I'm trying to bring it back up, you know what I mean? So first things first, there's a couple of things that are showing us that there could definitely be a possibility of a sequel. So first off, the main person who created Freedom Wars, like main guy behind it, he actually stepped down from his position and he gave it to basically the next guy closest to him. And whenever asked about a sequel, that guy says, you know what, I'm done with it, I'm moving on to other stuff, but it's up to that guy and to the fans on whether they want a sequel or not. So basically, we show enough support, we show this guy that yes, we love this game, it could definitely happen. Now the next thing that's happened, maybe across a span of 2 to 3 months, or 4 or 5, actually, it's been a while. There's been the Idol girls. You know, there's these Idol girls that's kind of like the face of Freedom Wars. They sing songs. Their first video ever was actually animated, where they were dancing while singing, and then later on they made new Idol guys. This is about 3-4 months ago, you know, that they made these Idol guys. Okay, so that means that they're still thinking about the game, they're still supporting it. Like the fact that they brought in guys, now the video that they made with them, they were not animated, but you know, they still had a whole song, and this time it was guys instead of the girls. And then a couple months ago, whether it's a month or two ago, there was a brand new Idol Girls song, and at that announcement they announced that there's a new CD coming with all their songs. It's going to be multiple Idol Girls songs, and I think Idol guys are going to be there as well. That is just crazy that they're still doing that, because like I said, this one was just a couple months ago, so it's definitely showing that they're still thinking about the game, giving like content about the game and everything. So that's something we really should be happy about. Now the next question is something about, if there is a sequel, where do you want it? Because there's a big, you know, incident with the whole Gravity Rush, so it's not foreign for Freedom Wars to leave the Vita if a sequel does come. Now you might be wondering what I want. For me, I do want it on a PS4. Now I can explain. I can explain before anyone tries to kill me. First things first is Freedom Wars did not deserve the limelight that it deserved, I guess. The PvP in the game is so well put. You know, there's no other monster genre game that could ever have a PvP as nicely polished as this one. So many things were put into this PvP mode. For the most part, it's fairly balanced. You know, there's ways to get around everything. And that's a big thing in itself. You know, the fact that they made a PvP that's balanced, you know, without much updates. You know, they didn't really, I think if in the Japan server it needed about 1 or 2 updates, and then the thing was balanced. You know, for games like this, you know, I mean, I guess if you think about shooters, they never really have to be balanced that much, but there's just so many aspects, so many weapons that could be in the game that could have been overpowered, but you know, they managed to get it just about right. Okay, now some people might say, oh, it's not fair how you always have to face stronger people, but the thing is, that's not even on them, that's on the community. There is no community, there is no newbies to play with, there's only good people at this point, and if you're good, you know, it's hard to play with newbies because they really don't know how to play. You really have to be experienced to be able to play PvP and Freedom Wars, so it's just hard, man, it's just hard. You know, it's more on the community than the developers. But and if it was on PS4, you know, definitely a lot more people would see it, a lot more people would get to try it at least, okay, because they could definitely put out a demo, let people try it out, and there's no doubt in my heart, in my mind, that people would love it, people would fall in love. I know so many people who have seen the game and have thought, wow, that game looks amazing, the game looks low-key lit, but they don't have a Vita or anything, and playing it on a PS TV just isn't exactly right. You have to play it on a Vita first, understand the controls, and then play on a PS TV, because I know some people who have played it on PS TV from the start, and it's just not the same. You have to at least understand how it feels to play on a Vita, and when you go to a PS TV, it's not as bad. You're able to adapt to some extent. You know, it does get a little bit tricky, but you can definitely adapt. If you play on it a lot, you definitely get used to it. I can say that for myself. The problem with me is I never play it that much. I usually would get on a record and then get back off when I'm not recording. So, but this next summer coming up, or this next winter break, I'm definitely gonna play on my PS TV a lot, just so I can get used to it. But like I said, with a PS4, you know, wider audience, dude, PS4 is coming up to 30 million units sold. That's well beyond PS2's amount that's been sold. So, you know, just imagine that 30 million people owning a PS4 who potentially could love Freedom Wars. Like I said, there's so many people that have seen the game and have loved it right off the bat, but the fact that it's on the Vita, they're like, what if I buy a Vita for just this game? You know, how long is it gonna last? The online community is not gonna last that much, you know what I mean? So it's just so many issues that are hurting Freedom Wars, and the story, I definitely think it could get expanded a lot on PS4. Now let's think about a remaster, because if it does come to the PS4, they're gonna have to do the same exact thing they did with Gravity Rush. You can't just bring a sequel to the console without having another one, you know what I mean? Because Gravity Rush is doing just that, or they had to do, you know, bring up remaster of the first one, so people who didn't have a Vita, who couldn't play it, can play it now. You know, they have to do that. And the only thing with that is, I hope that they would let the online come, you know. And what I would want is them to make a PS4 remaster like within the first few months of 2016, and then they can talk about Freedom Wars 2. I don't want them to have the Freedom Wars 2 already made you know, I want them to remaster it on the PS4 so that we can all go over to PS4, we can all play it on there, and I can play it some more, because right now I'm still content with Freedom Wars, you know what I mean? I don't even need a sequel yet. You know, if they gave us a sequel, that would just be, you know, icing on the cake, because I'm still playing the PvP, we're still having fun. As long as the PvP is still there, the game will forever be fun to me. PvP does not get old. That's how great it is, because you can always improve. And it's just so fun. So I would really want them to make a remaster very, very soon, so that whenever they do come around to Freedom Wars 2, people have already fell in love with the game, played it a lot, beaten the game, gotten the story, all that stuff, and then they're like, okay, now I want a Freedom Wars 2, and then they, right at the right time, they announce that shit, and it's perfect. It's perfect. But that's basically all I have to say about this. You know, happy birthday to Freedom Wars. Great game. Definitely my most favorite Vita game. Man, there's so much I could say about it. But for now, let me know what your thoughts are on the sequel possibility. Maybe there's any other news that I've missed, but that's basically all the stuff that we've hit that's happened that could, you know, mean something. Definitely mainly it means that they are still thinking about the game, they are still caring about it and all that stuff. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and I will see all my Freedom Wars fans later. For the greater good, let's continue contributing until the game is dead.